agree with Alan Greenspan, we ought to just eliminate the debt ceiling. Oh, absolutely. We do.
The ability of almost every working American to access more credit than they should have been able to masked the underlying fact that lower and middle class incomes were not rising.
That's not a tenable strategy. Isn't now the time to eliminate it? Oh, we've been a long time ago to eliminate it.
Let's put aside terrorism. Let's talk only about our own homegrown animals that are patrolling America right now. So it goes down to the simplest thing. Be prepared, be vigilant.
What is up, folks? Tweak the mic here. James Walton, I Am Liberty Show. You know the deal. You know the dial. We're out here on what I guess we're gonna have to start to call the Hike Cast. Can we get away with calling this thing the Hike Cast? This is a beautiful day, by the way. Out here, walking the pups in the park, bag on, doing the little mini hike thing, the little mock hike, you could call it, I guess. Really, it's just here so we can get the pups tired out and find a little bit of peace in the evening. If I'm smart about it, I do this. Okay, if I'm not smart about it, I suffer in the evening because I have a little pit bull puppy, and little pit bull puppies are like stars. They're like never-ending energy blasts that just happen throughout the entire day. And right now I'm at that situation where he wants to walk and the older girl, she wants to smell, and that never works out well. But first and foremost, tonight on the I Am Liberty Show, we have to talk about apology. I've got to issue a serious apology. I don't know that I've ever issued an apology on the show before, but, I've been married 10 years, so I'm always apologizing for something. Sunday night on the Prepper Broadcasting Network, there's an incredible show on called The Next Generation. And The Next Generation is hosted by Ryan Buford and his son Colin, and it's an awesome show. And I met Ryan through a great article he sent me that I posted on the I Am Liberty Show website, and it was about all the things he's been doing with his son to assure that his son understands more than just the iPad, and understands more than just the indoctrination of public schooling. And it was a great article, well written. Ryan is a writer also. Long story short, he's doing a great show up on the Prepper Broadcasting Network. It's, like I said, Sunday nights. Did I say Saturday nights? Sunday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? So check that one out for sure. And the reason I'm issuing this apology to Ryan is because he invited me on the show to talk about community of all things. And I said, okay, yeah, that's a no-brainer, right? Let's talk community. And we got started planning and figuring out what the topics were going to be and all that. And we even talked the Thursday prior to the show. All right, we had a little meeting between us and several other guys that we have on a monthly basis, and we were primed. I was primed, he was primed, everything was in place. And then Sunday night, I forgot about everything. There's nothing I could say other than I'm sorry. I forgot about everything. I get wrapped up in doing some things in my house, and yeah, to be honest, I was playing hide and seek with my kids. And then I started playing a couple board games with them, and I completely lost track of time, man. The phone was downstairs. On the weekends I hide from the phone. I don't want to hear it. I don't want anything to do with it, because it's becoming like the mailbox, right? I don't want the mailbox. The mailbox is just bills. It's just problems. But anyhow, all excuses aside, we had the potential to put something really cool out. Ryan was expecting me. Ryan was depending on me to be there. I had an obligation to be there, and I blew it. It was an irresponsible thing on my side, and I just wanted to say one more time and one final time to the listeners, to G-Man, to Ryan himself, to Colin. Sorry about that, man. I put you guys in a bad position, and thankfully you carried the show on your own. Won't happen again. So, first ever I think, apology issued on the I Am Liberty show after some 1,000 episodes. We got to be getting close to 1,000. I don't know. I don't number my episodes. Maybe that's a bad move, maybe not. I don't know. I don't like the number idea. You start numbering, you start thinking about end. Start thinking about middle and end, and then you celebrate shows for no reason just because there's a number on it. Right? Oh, it's a 100th show. Let's do a backflip. I mean, if you look at it that way, that's cool. It is exciting. It's creation, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, not my thing. Not my thing. So October is the second of our themed months thus far that we've done. We're theming the show out now for many reasons. I'm going to be transparent in the theming of these shows because I want people to both learn from what I'm doing and understand why I'm doing it. The theme this month is going to be urban survival and everyday carry. So Wednesday's live show, we're going to talk about short-term and long-term urban survival because the term itself can be misleading unless you define it further, right? There are two very different worlds, and we're going to discuss them on Wednesday's live show at prepperbroadcasting.com. So don't miss that one, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. Join the live chat room or call in if you'd like. Always looking for people to call in and interact, even if you have a differing opinion. Guys know so much. I know the audience. It's not like I don't know who you are out there listening. I know you guys know a lot. Bring it. Bring it. But anyway, the idea behind the theme months, real quick, for those of you who haven't heard my spiel on it. And for those of you who are also entrepreneurial by heart. There's a few reasons, right? There's a few big reasons. One of the biggest reasons is that I can be flaky, man. And there can be no real rhyme or reason or order into the shows that I do in a month. And some people like that, and I like that sometimes. But my piece of the pie, well, my pie, the pie itself, I guess. The James Walton pie is getting sliced a lot, in a lot of different slices. And I'm trying to figure out how to streamline a few processes to make sure that things aren't getting left behind. You know, so I turn a show description in on Friday morning to prepperbroadcastingnetwork.com, and I don't want to be the type of guy who is brainstorming my next week's show Friday at 8 p.m. Because there's too much opportunity for things to go wrong. I've got kids, I've got responsibilities, and it's just, there's too much time and too much possibility for things to go wrong. So this theming idea, part of it is about streamlining a process. Part of it's also about letting the audience know that this is what James is doing all month. Like, it's October, it's Wednesday night. Do I want to listen to the I Am Liberty show? What's he talking about? I don't know. Well, now you'll know. Now you'll know, at least from a thematic standpoint. James is going to be discussing these topics. September, we did National Preparedness Month. That was a good move. And now we're going to do urban survival and everyday carry. And knock those topics out. The whole year is planned with themes. So there's no real guesswork going into it anymore. It's just, it is what it is. And from an entrepreneurial standpoint, from a sort of multiple income stream standpoint, right? From a diverse income stream standpoint, when I theme out a month, so this is for you bloggers, podcasters, whoever's out there. I know everyone knows everything already. It seems like every time I try to drop a tip, someone tells me it before I finish talking about it. And, I mean, I guess everyone's a millionaire already. I don't know. I'm still going to talk about it because I know there are people out there who want to know. All right, so we're going to talk about it. I theme the months out because it gives me the ability to focus on several different things. First being advertising and sponsorship. Right? I'm not going to pull any punches. It's impossible. Nearly impossible to find long-term sponsorship with the type of companies that I want to be sponsored by. And I think a lot of that has to do with budgets and the changing landscape with affiliate marketing and that type of thing working its magic out there. You know, why pay someone a large chunk of money to talk about their product when they can just sell it and make the revenue and do the advertising for your company on their own through an affiliate marketing program or an affiliate program. So the landscape is changing. You got to stay with it, you know. But I feel like being able to offer sponsors and advertisers a very focused month, a very focused 4 weeks that's going to be dancing around exactly the type of product that you have. Now that might appear a little more beneficial than the average Joe's sponsorship package. We'll see. Who knows? Experimental. That's all this is, right? This is just experimental stuff. The next part of the whole thing is the idea that I can theme out my own affiliate products, right? Because I have a number of affiliate products that I've either associated with or that I've used myself or that I've created. And I could turn you in the direction of those when they make sense to the month, right? Also free resources. I want to be able to point you in the direction of great free resources via websites, free ebooks that are out, whatever. There's all kinds of resources out there. And when we theme out a month, then I have the ability to really hone in on them. So there's a lot of benefits. Follow me? From a gear standpoint, from a skills standpoint, we can also focus on that stuff, you know, like, for example, right now I'm hiking. Not hiking, really, it's just walking in a park, but I call it the hike cast because it's me, the dogs, the backpack, and you. But when I come on these hike casts, I like to throw my pack on, right? I got the EDC bag on today by 3V Gear, of course. Listen, 3V Gear is my company, that's it. I mean, I don't own them, but it's at a certain point you have to align yourself with certain companies. And when I make decisions, I don't just make decisions for me because I know that I'm a part of something bigger now, a part of something much bigger than just me, right? I have all these people who listen to the I Am Liberty show, and I want you guys to be on this prepping journey with me, this readiness journey. People are so scared to say prepping. I watch great YouTubers online. They're just terrified to say that they're preppers, even though they are. I don't understand it. But anyway, so the reason I like 3V Gear, well, there's many reasons. But the reason I aligned with them, the reason I'm a brand ambassador for the company, the reason that I push their product, the reason that I use affiliate links for their products and promote them, and review them, is because I believe that this is a product that most people are going to be able to afford. Right? Everything they make, from the body armor all the way down to the water bottles, which are great, by the way. The average person can afford it because the average person listens to my show. I know who listens to my show. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the group that comes along with me every single time I post one of these or every time I'm live. And I started thinking to myself, you know, I destroyed a bug out bag some months back. And I said to myself, all right, where do we go from here? It's a very important question here. Because we're reaching a point now where these sort of decisions are no longer just about James and what James wants. And I like that, you know, I really do. Because I'm not a big gear junkie, but I like to really sit down and make a good gear decision. So I started thinking about this sort of multifaceted gear choice that I had to make. And I came across 3V Gear. How did I come across 3V Gear? To be honest, I can't remember. I think I did probably a Facebook advertisement, and I contacted them. I loved the look of their gear. I loved the price. And I met them at PrepperCon. They were great guys. And the rest, I guess, is history. There's not much history to it, but the rest, as they say, is history. And I aligned with them because I like the idea that I can say the following. The following statement is completely true and yada, yada, yada. Look, I'm carrying the Outlaw Slinger Pack by 3V Gear. It is affordable. It's highly effective. It comes with a concealed carry pocket along with tons of organization. This is not a bug out bag. This is an EDC bag in my estimation, and for my use, it's a sling pack. It is what I'm carrying as we speak, and it's comfortable, and the wind's blowing through my back, and it's around $40. Okay? Now, for those of you who shop bags, you know what that means. You know what that means, because that means something. It's $40. No, it's not. You look at there are incredible high-end, top-quality bag makers on the market. Lots of them. Vertex is powerful. Arc'teryx, powerful. Condor has some great products. Why am I going to put someone in position and talk about my $400 Arc'teryx jacket or bag or whatever, my $200 EDC bag by Vertex? If you want that stuff, you can get it. But as far as I'm concerned, I want people to know about what's out there that they can afford, that they don't have to save up, 3 months for, or wait until their birthday comes, or wait until Christmas comes, whatever it is. I want gear that's there for a purpose, and gear that's there when you need it, not for special occasions. I'm not a special occasion gear guy, and unfortunately, man, that special gear price range when you got 2 kids. That's what that is. Two kids on a writer and podcaster salary. Yeah, that Arc'teryx bag, that's something that I don't even want to think about owning it. It's almost like too much responsibility to take care of the thing. So, I find myself spending more time on the 3V Gear website, taking more pictures of their gear and trying to get it into your hands. So pay close attention, because very soon I'll have a 10% discount code out, probably in a tweet or in an Instagram post. Oh yeah, I'm over at Instagram now. My professional buddies, and buddies in general, really just pushed me until I got on Instagram, and I think it's the right move. I really do. I think it's the better move. I think it's filled with better people, and I'm excited about it. So you're going to see a lot more. It actually works pretty well for me too, to be honest with you. But you're going to see a lot more of me over at Instagram, at I Am Liberty Show. You know the deal. Lot of good positive interaction already, and that's kind of the difference. Twitter is kind of like no interaction, arguments. It's like you know what it's like? I'll tell you what it's like. When you're at Twitter, it's like you're at the bar too late. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You're at the bar and it's too late and everybody's sloshed. And it's like, let me out of here. Everything you say, someone pops up and wants to fight you over it. So far, what I can tell from Instagram is it's like being at a convention where you're surrounded by like-minded people. You know what I mean? You're surrounded by all these like-minded people who are just posting and talking about pictures instead of trying to win arguments. And all I can say, man, is that it's way better for me so far. What else? Hydro Blue is another company I want to talk to you about. I'm not like shamelessly plugging these things. I'm just telling you, you're going to hear a lot about these guys because we're doing urban survival and everyday carry talk for the month. I did a recent review of a Hydro Blue pressurized jerry can, which I'll post up on my website, and hopefully I can post it to Instagram too. Great review, great product, super solution for water, particularly when public utilities are down. Really an awesome solution for that. What else? But Hydro Blue is one of these It's one of these examples of a company that allows you to buy high quality water filtration in all sorts of different sizes and shapes, and it allows you to do it at a price range that makes sense, man. That makes sense and that works. I have a Katadyn that's in my bug out bag, and I have a Hydro Blue water filter, and I've drank both, and they both taste like creek water that's been filtered to me. I didn't get sick off of either one, so you tell me, what's the deal? Again, affordability for the listening audience and for myself. Access, baby. We want access, right? When do we want it? We want it now. We want to be able to access these items that we need to get prepared. One of the biggest issues in the preparedness community is what? I don't have enough money to get prepared. That's because I think a bug out bag costs $190. Doesn't have to be that way. It's too competitive out there now, man. It's far too competitive out there. But this is all hand in hand of what it takes to be an entrepreneur, guys. And maybe I want to talk about that a little bit. I don't know. I also wanted to ask why you buy the gear that you buy. What are the motivating factors in purchasing gear? Do you purchase gear because it's a brand that your family has always bought from, or it's a brand that you like, or it's the most expensive brand? Are you one of those people? Do you buy it because the industry says it's the best, right? Do you buy because enough people say it's the best and to you it is the best? Do you buy because it's the cheapest? It's just the cheapest, it's filling a hole. It's interesting because it all depends on the gear and the purchase, right? What gear am I buying? Why am I buying it? What is it for? How important is it that it be the most expensive piece of gear that I can buy? I'm not a big gear junkie, but some coral mushrooms. Very little bit of them, but wild edible coral mushrooms on the hike cast. I'm getting a pretty decent repertoire of wild edible mushrooms. I told you this story before. I ate some sulfur shelf that I was about 99% sure was sulfur shelf, and then my family and I went to the local mall and I had like a panic attack because I thought I ate something I shouldn't have. That was a good one. It was a self-inflicted panic attack, which I never have. I mean, it wasn't like I had to go sit down or anything like that, but heart was beating faster, shortness of breath, because I tricked myself into thinking I ate a poisonous mushroom. When I should have known that shortness of breath and rapid heartbeat have nothing to do with eating poisonous mushrooms anyway. But you live and you learn, man. You live and you learn. So, again, I want to help people out in the entrepreneurial spirit as much as I can, which is why I'm very transparent about sort of these moves that I make and decisions that I make and how I'm trying to make and strengthen diverse incomes from my own lifestyle. Because I'm just so... I don't know how to say it without sounding like I'm being hard on myself, but I'm so underperforming. I just really am. I haven't found... part of me doesn't want to find this perfect principle of how... this perfect process that I have adhered to, because I run into those guys, in the writing industry. It's all process. You got to do this link here, you got to put this, got to be this size, you got to have this for SEO, you got to do this. If you don't follow, the paragraphs have to have this kind of... And it's enough to drive you crazy. It'll definitely steal my soul away. It would steal my soul. And I'm not willing to sell my soul. Yet. But I think it's important to understand that there's opportunity out there and I'm missing out on some of it, and for many, many reasons, but I want you guys to understand what that opportunity is. Maybe you can fit into your process a little better. Because like I said, I'm on a writer's salary. This journey, this decision I made to spend my time, I executed the big goal. For those of you who don't know, the big goal was I've got 10 years with these kids. And initially it was, I'm gonna do part-time work at my job, and I'm gonna do part-time work as a writer. And that part-time is gonna give me much more time to be in my children's lives. You know, because I got so nauseated one day, just one day, this epiphany of 10 years hit me smack in the face. And I realized that when I get off work at 6 p.m., I'm going to see my kids for 2 hours max. The average, people say, I've heard Jordan Peterson say the average is about 20 minutes a day that you get to spend one-on-one time with your kids. And I understand that's just the deal for some people. But I wasn't satisfied with that deal. So I decided to go against it, and I blew some things up. I blew up some foundational structures of my life, and now I'm building them back. But I'm building them back in a fortified manner that allows me to exist the way I want to exist in the world. You know, I understand what I say on this show and how reprehensible it can be to certain people. And those certain people might be signing paychecks in my life had I not been in the business that I'm in now. And that's freedom I'm unwilling to give up also. That's, you know I speak truth on the show, and I know I speak dangerous truth on the show, because we live in a society where the window on which you can speak truth seems to be closing for a lot of people. Right? People are shying from the truth, and then they're even fighting the truth with about as much vitriol as you can, fighting the truth. And I know I speak the truth because I feel nervous sometimes when I say things, not for myself, but for the people who are listening at work. That's how I know what I'm saying is ringing true. When I get off the gear and I start talking about the culture, I know what I'm saying is effective, because I start to get nervous for you. I start to get nervous for your professional career. I start thinking, man, who's listening to this, and how are they listening to it? And did they run to the bathroom with this podcast on their speakers at work? And is their coworker listening and turning them into the foot soldiers of modern times, right? Are they turning them in for, turning them into the Fourth Reich, if you will? Those people that run from truth. So it allows me to live a life that I wish we all could live, and I wish you all could live, and I hope that one day I get successful enough to where I can really tell you without a doubt what to do. Do this way, and you'll be able to find financial freedom, some semblance of it, enough to where you'll be able to speak freely again. Because telling you, if you think the First Amendment's alive and well in this nation, you are damn wrong. You are damn wrong. We've got problems. We've got problems on many sides. You can say what you want. You're free to say what you want at work. You're free to say what you want on YouTube. You're free to say what you want when Google's involved, when Facebook's involved, when Twitter's involved. You're free to say what you want. No, sir. The First Amendment has a spear in it right now, and there's no getting around that. And they're doing it in a nice, peaceful way so that we don't have to call on the Second Amendment to protect it. But I can tell you right now, you're not nearly as free as you think you might be. And I know this because of the book I just published, and I've been thinking about the character lineup and, how many people my show could alienate from buying this book about Christmas. And if I really wanted to, I could have made the main character a little girl, who throws Santa off his sleigh and calls him a fascist, and goes and picks up Mrs. Claus, and the two of them do the Christmas run and change the tradition forever and rid the world of the toxic patriarchy of old Saint Nick, right? I say it in jest, but if you found a book like that on the shelves, would you be that surprised in this day and age? Now, I have to remind you, because of all this talk of urban survival and gear and entrepreneurship and whatever this I Am Liberty show has become, that I'm an artist at heart. And anyone who's an artist at heart should be shaken by the situation that we see today. You know, you listen to the show on a weekly basis, you might think that I'm a guy who was in the military, or maybe I'm a guy who, I don't know, came from some sort of a different background, right? Some sort of a tough, I don't know what you think when you listen to the show, to be honest, but I talk about a lot of subjects that people most of the time don't think are attributed to a guy who has basically spent his entire life as an artist. Essentially. I mean, really. If I break it down for you, one of my favorite things to do when I was younger was to write stories and draw. Very young. Writing stories, drawing. Right? When I got to middle school, I realized that music is new. I want to learn how to make music now. Well, when I was in 4th grade, I also wanted to be an actor, as many people do, but again, it's another art. So then it was to music in middle school. Playing guitar, playing drums, writing lyrics, writing poetry. Then high school was the band. You know, we finally put the band together. We've got this band now, and again, creation, creative pursuits, art. And I only left the band to pursue a long career in the culinary arts. College degree in the culinary arts. And, you know, here we are again, circling the wagon, back to writing, back to the creative arts, to podcasting. I mean, at heart, that's what I am. It's taken a lot of hard work to take a guy like me, a little pale artist guy, and learn how to fight, and go to classes to learn how to do that, and learn how to shoot, and, you know, all this stuff takes practice. And the bridge is different for everyone, right? You may be listening to the show and you may be thinking, dude, come on, how to shoot and how to fight, I was born for those things. Well, there's some people who are not, and they fall way, 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 way outside of the spectrum. And I'm telling you, man, I had to work to get to all of this, to get to a point where I was remotely comfortable even coming on a podcast and saying, oh, yeah, I can do that. Because again, I'm an artist. That's what I am. That's what I've always been. To deny that and to say I'm something else, it's it. I've told you a million times on the show before that self-expression is one of the most important things to me in all of life. The ability for me to express myself is vital. And I hope you understand that. And I hope you look into your own life and try to figure out what are the things that mean the most to you and what are you really at heart. Because I can tell you, you can scoff at the idea with the host of the I Am Liberty show with a pack of watercolors if you want. Painting doesn't fit into my budget right now. Had I disposable income, I'd definitely be doing watercolors, or probably oil on canvas. But anyway, listen. When you're an artist, and this is why the show resonates, okay? And then we're going to call it a day. When you're an artist, one of the most impressive things about art, one of the most important things about art in our society, is that for many, many years, probably hundreds of years, it's been given the license of truth. It's been given the license of truth, and the greatest artists have taken that license to its utmost, right? Without truth, there's no more art. Because the best art exposes the best truth, the realest truth, the oldest truth, the most powerful truth. That's what great art does. And as we dance with this wild new cultural movement, we dance further away from our ability to question. We dance further away from our ability to seek out that truth and expose it. You can seek it out, you can find it, you can come to know it. But you better not bring it to light, right? So I tell you from the artist's side, listen, truth is all. Truth is all, and I know we have a show that is powerful in its following and in its truth because, like I said, I get nervous when I think about who's listening and how they're listening and what trouble it might create for them.